himself there. Just fucking spilled coffee all over himself. But listen, we're here on live at 20 past 11. Now, this is one where we're going to be talking to you about the hybrid gym blueprint. This is the stuff we put in the poll. Remember we discussed this last week, Jay?
Yeah.
And we stuck it in the poll to see, did you want something like Sales Hacking Live if we were going to do a big live event? And most people want to know how they can add another income stream to their business without necessarily dropping the ball on what you've got right now. So this has to work in a couple of ways. One, you've got to be able to get online business with this thing, and you've got to be able to do it in a time-efficient manner. So this is quite tricky. Anybody can get themselves into an online, like, absolute fuckery where you've got shit all over the place, and it actually becomes a bigger ball for you, isn't it? And there's a lot of ways you can do this fucking wrong.
Yeah, big time, definitely.
So what we're looking at is adding an income stream to your business, therefore being hybrid, so you're doing online and offline stuff, without spending more than like 15, 20 hours and without having to pull back or drop income in your other business. Isn't that what we're trying to achieve?
Yeah. And again, look at this could be bringing a new business into, like, what I mean by bringing in new business, or this could be fulfilling business that you already have. So in a case where somebody has a gym and they've got 100 members or 150 members, and maybe it doesn't suit somebody anymore to come to the gym, 3 or 4 days a week. So they start saying to themselves, I'm not getting the value there. Maybe they've had kids, maybe they're working further away, their life circumstances have changed, but they love what you do, they love you as a coach, they love the atmosphere. So if you could give them an alternative, a hybrid model, a lot of those guys are going to stay with you. Again, there's other people that are seeing what you're doing, and they've been following along. Maybe they have trained with you and they've left for whatever reason. And a hybrid approach could take some of those people back into the pot as well.
Definitely. So what we're going to give you here is we're going to talk you through exactly what you need to do. And then we're going to give you an opportunity where you can come and learn this from us, like take the plan away, exactly what you would do at a live event that we've got coming up. We'll announce that near the end. So stay on to the end if you want to hear more about the live event, where you'll get like hands-on our system that we use to deliver this thing in the gym here. So let's talk about this thing. So these guys want a crystal clear plan, like especially if you want to start this up the right way. You don't want to get into the ball ache of having shit all over the place. There's going to be a few things you need to put in place. So what's the first step? Somebody's thinking to themselves, right, Jay, like to mimic what you're doing, you've got between 5 and 7K online right now, right? Without spending more than 15 hours a week, right? So who would like between 5 and 7K in 15 hours work? I bet you would get a show of hands with that. So what's step one to start this thing? Because you've done this in what, 4 months, 3 months?
Not even really, because it was only really starting in December.
Right, so you've done this in less than 60 days. Fuck. So you guys could potentially do this in definitely 90 days. I mean, let's give them 30 days, please. Okay, so what's step one in a
so the first thing that you're going to have to think of is who the hell are you chasing after? All right, so the demographic of people that you want to chase after. And if you have a bricks and mortar gym, most of the time, all right, most people are not going to do too well if they niche down too small. Now listen, if you were the only gym in the country that trained women with blonde hair, you could do really, really well with it. But chances are not too many other people could do that, all right? So that's not really going to work. But when you're thinking about online, you do have to kind of niche it down a little bit. And, you don't want to just train everybody. So you have to ask yourself, who is the type of person that I want to train? And again, if I was you, I would start somewhat broad. So for example, I want to train dads who are busy, stressed, and out of shape.
See, right. That's right. Go for it, because that's really like me. I mean, I'm sure I could resonate with the guys. Yeah. I understand the things they struggle with. I know what it's like, and I would know how to advise those people. So that would be easy for me to do.
Yeah. So there's a lot of those guys out there. Now, that would be your demographic. And then as you get further down the rabbit hole, let's say, you could niche them down a little bit. You could say dads who are busy, stressed, and want to put on muscle. Or dads who are busy and stressed who have 50 pounds to lose. Dads who are busy and stressed who want to play sports or get back to sports.
Better at golf, I'm thinking here.
Classic, better at golf, all right? So there would be another layer or another level. Lads, screen is frozen.
Could be the internet connection. Okay, give us a thumbs up before we start talking again so we know that this is working.
Yeah, sure, listen.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
So you can see where we're going with that. You can see where we're going with that in terms of start off with a demographic. Oh, like you can see what I mean.
He likes your jacket. It's for sale at the
This is actually
too.
2 jackets. I'm wearing 2 here. It's fucking cold as fuck out there. But anyway, what we were saying there is, you know, starting off with a fairly broad niche, but it's like dads, blah, 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 who are busy and stressed. Then you can niche it down and narrow it down. And really, why is this important is because you're going to have to speak to these people in terms of you have to know and understand what's their biggest frustration, their biggest obstacle when it comes to their health or their fitness. And then your product or service has to offer a solution to that. And it's that simple. So you're going to pick who you want. You're going to identify what their biggest pain points are, their biggest obstacle, their biggest frustration, and then offer a solution, being the program that you're offering online.
Okay. And then when we've got the person, so let's say we've narrowed it down. Like let's say like Darren Murphy, he likes the idea, loves your jacket, and he wants to know if you're in love here. Yes, the answer is yes, and the jacket's for sale at the next live event. So Darren's like, right, well, that demographic sounds like it suits me. You know, I'm a dude. You know, we getting a wee bit on as years he is, Darren. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
no hair.
I know he wants to train other people that have no hair and are getting on in years. So then, right, he's got his dude. What's the next thing he needs to know? How, like, would it be like how to deliver that product in the best way for these people, or what?
Yeah, well, one other little caveat I would say there is if I was you guys, the type of people that I would also be chasing after would not be total newbies when it comes to training. So in my world, I try and go after people who had some experience with training. You know, they've been to a personal trainer, they've been through gyms. So you can imagine, you know, a guy who's 45, you know, he's probably been on and off training for maybe 20 years. He's been around a little bit and he's been to various trainers. So he knows how to exercise, but for whatever reason, he's not doing it. So the solution for that guy would be accountability, it would be consistency, it would be giving them easy wins. Now, the reason why I say that is because, you know, if somebody was never in the gym before, do you really want to be answering questions about, like, you know, how do you add more weight to the lat pull down? You know, all those.
What does this mean? Aircel DDL.
Yeah. So if you were training those people, you know, and again, that might be the demographic you're going after, but in my world, that would just be a little bit harder. So
that's ballsy. That's fucking ballsy.
Yeah.
So these people are much more autonomous, aren't they? They're not coming to you because they want to know how to do an exercise correctly. They know that they see the value and the higher value in having a coach and having the accountability and like investing in themselves and doing what they're supposed to do and showing up every day.
Exactly, because listen, that's the thing. A lot of people that come into a bricks and mortar gym and they're seeing you face to face, they're standing in front of you. They kind of say, I want all these things, but a lot of the times, you know, you either get friend zoned by the people. You know, if you've been training someone for years or even months, like you're kind of mates with them. It's very hard to really crack the whip on those people.
Yeah, it can be, yeah.
So you get put into the kind of friend zone. And the other thing is that happens a lot of times with people is they kind of turn around and say, well, listen, I'm here. I'm fucking paying you. Why haven't I lost weight? Why haven't I got bigger muscles? And it's like, whoa.
There's a bit of blame and shit.
There can be, you know, and I'm not saying everybody's going to be like that, but there can be. You can kind of get into that space with people. But in an online setting, that doesn't happen, right? Because you're giving the people the information. It's like, listen, either do it or don't do it. Now, obviously, there's coaching that goes along with that, but it is a lot, as Sean said earlier, it's a lot more autonomous. It's a different type of human being who's seeking out that service.
I like the idea of this. Okay, so we've got the dude. We understand we're looking for a more mature person with a higher training age, let's call it. That's where they're mature. They're mature in the training age. They don't need help with finicky shit. They see the value in a coach. So now we need to pick, like, right, well, what's the best way to deliver this product to these people? Like, what's our delivery system, right?
Yeah, well, look, you got to kind of think to yourself, within any business, you've got 5 systems. So you have got marketing, you have got sales, you've got fulfillment, you've got referrals, and then reactivation of people that have either come to train with you or leads that you know, names, email, and phone numbers that maybe haven't done business with you, but you want to try and put them back into the loop. So when you're talking, if we were to start at the top here, marketing, well, look, at the most important thing with marketing is getting your message in front of the right people, and then for them to put up their hand at some stage and say, listen, I like what you're talking about, I want more information. So that is marketing kind of in a nutshell. Would you add in anything to that?
I would say on the online space, the thing that matters, that 100%, and then next is consistency. Yeah. I think a lot of people just aren't consistent enough, or when they don't get the instant gratification of 30, 40 likes on something or a load of follows, they're like, oh fuck it, I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas like you've got to put in the groundwork with this thing.
Yeah, well, I think look at an example of that would be look at Kelly Starrett, right? So everybody in the fitness industry knows Kelly Starrett. Now I remember in 2011, a weightlifting friend of mine. Now nobody weightlifted in 2011, but this particular girl did, right? So she was telling me about this, and I got onto fucking YouTube, I think it was at the time. Looked at this and was like, this lad bollocks. What's this lad going on about? All right.
Yeah.
But the dude kept going, kept putting out the videos, and roll on. Like he put out, I think initially it was one video every day for a year, one like video to YouTube, and then that probably became 2 years and 3 years and 4 years, and now he's putting out content, numerous and multiple bits of content every single day, and he is Kelly Starrett. It is Mobility World, which is going into what's it called? Something the ready state now. All right, so Mobility World doesn't exist anymore. The ready state, but basically everybody's like, "Oh, look at this multi-million-pound business,
overnight success."
And don't see that he's been doing that for nearly 10 years, putting out content every single day, no days off.
Yeah, but that's not to say that they need to put out 10 years of content before this is going to work.
No,
I mean now what we see is like we see that success leaves clues. So what is it that these people do in order to get the kind of result? Like you don't need £1 million quid. But I bet you 5 to 7K, as an extra income stream is going to make a big, huge difference to your life. If it is, then what you need to do is to just double down on the things that work and do that consistently enough to build your audience, get your message out there, and then begin to ask people, do you want to go ahead with that? So like that's transitioning from the marketing, turning the visitors to your content, your message, into leads, which is capturing their permission to contact them further. And after that, then you want to go and close those leads into cash. So commit to close and close the cash is the next step. So have you a way of selling these people? That's really next, isn't it?
Yeah, so again, it's when we're talking about the marketing, I mean, you could have a whole big sales funnel built out. You could have advertising, lead ads on Facebook. You could have just a conversational close where you're opening up conversations with people. Somebody sends you a message, you ask them some questions, they answer the questions, and then if you are a good fit, you jump on the phone.
Yep.
So in most people, in most cases, it's going to go down to jump on the phone. I should kind of rewind here ever so slightly. And the problem I think that most people have when they talk about fitness online is they're comparing it to, Jenny Big Bum's, booty blasting 5,000 program. And Jenny Big Bum has a big bum and her name's Jenny. And she likes to wear bikinis. Sometimes she takes the bikinis off. She has a big following. A lot of people like to look at her body with no bikinis on it, all right? So she has 1 million followers and she's selling these programs online, and it's like a tenner for her fucking booty building babes bum program. Now listen, if you're trying to compete with that and you're not Jenny Big Bum, it's like it's not going to happen, all right? So don't even go down that space. Remember, what we're doing here is people are liking that. Yeah. What we're doing here is going after a total different demographic of people.
Doesn't really work if you're building big balls either. Like nobody really wants to see your balls, I don't think.
Probably not.
No.
Or some dudes might, but
they're not going to buy your
I think that's vitally important. So then we're moving. We spoke about marketing. We spoke slightly about sales, and really with the sales bit, it's fairly easy. If people have a problem and you have a solution and you can communicate that clearly, well then it's easy to move on to the next stage. So the next stage of that would be fulfillment. Now the main thing with fulfillment, people get bogged down here, right? And it's like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? A lot of dudes will turn around and go, oh, I'm going to start my online business, but I'm just waiting for my logo. I'm going to start my online business, but I'm just shooting videos. So some dude has a gazillion videos that no cunt is ever going to watch. All right? Why? Because he has no clients. So get clients first, and then worry about some of those other fancier bits. So, I mean, there's a gazillion videos on YouTube. Does it need to be you doing a bicep curl? Or does it just need to be, this is how to do a bicep curl and some dude doing it? I think that's crucially important. That
you can take years building a fucking...
Yeah, well, look at...
What the fuck? We try to do that with elite and shit.
Yeah, listen, procrastination can come in two forms. Well, it can come in many forms. But when we think of procrastination, most people think you're just sitting at your laptop, scrolling through social media, looking at Julie Big Bum. All right? That's what you've been doing. But procrastination can also be an information collection. I'm just getting all this information.
I'm going to read this other book.
I'm just going to read this book. I'm
going to do this course.
Now, if it's our course, that's a different story. I'm going to do this course. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And in reality, it's like action. Success loves speed. In order to have action, in order to have success, we need to take action. So it's that simple. So I think that's really, really important there. But with the fulfillment thing, you just need to pick a way of doing it. The simplest way would be send somebody an Excel spreadsheet on a Google Drive. All right? Then you can go into a slightly more advanced way. It's have some sort of delivery platform, True Coach, Trainer Size, PT Direct, My PT Development Center, all that type of shit, right? Listen, doesn't matter which one you pick. They're all more or less the same. Some might have better or worse benefits, whatever the case may be. I don't know. Just pick one of them and go with it. Don't wait a week. What I would do is I would sit down for 1 hour and say, at the end of this 1 hour, I'm going to buy one of these, or at least do the free trial.
The question we always ask with people in the mastermind, whenever they're looking at business and they're looking at exploring a new market, is what is the fastest way to the cash? Because I would rather have a problem like, fuck, right, we've got too many clients now, holy shit, right, now we need to look at something else. Instead of trying to build a perfect system right now, it's like, just get something to work, start putting money in the bank, start getting some fucking clients, get them results, and we can worry about that shit later. So the question is, like, what is the fastest way to the cash?
Big time. So, I mean, in fulfillment, and basically the most important thing is, are people happy? Are they staying? Are you getting the results? Then we can move on to the next bit. This is kind of a bonus bit, is like referrals. Are people telling friends or other people about you? Are they tagging your stuff on social media and saying, listen, you got to check this out?
Are you asking them to do that?
Well, this is the thing in terms of, are you asking for it? And if you make it easier for people, if you reduce the friction, then more people are going to do it. And then the last little bit that we could kind of think about is the whole thing of reactivation. So are you collecting people's data and then going back out and remarketing to those people? Because these people have already expressed an interest in what you're doing. You have to remember, if somebody says no, it's not necessarily that they don't want what you have. Maybe they just didn't want it right now, or they didn't want it how you presented it, or they didn't want it for some other reason. But that doesn't mean that they don't want it again in the future. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. Like, for instance, if you thought about it, because we said, way at the start of this, there's going to be some people who maybe move away from your gym or certain life circumstances get in the way and they can no longer come to your facility. And that's one of those things. They're saying no because like circumstances have gotten in the way. They're not saying no to you. They fucking love you. But they can't, in your current delivery model, continue to train with you. Now, we've been able to go back and people who moved away, hit them up with, hey, dude, I know we used to train together. We got great results. And I know that life got in the way, but I've now got this thing. Would you be interested in it? And that was where to reactivate people and put them on an online delivery system where we therefore got those clients back and now giving us money. Whereas if we didn't do this, they're gone forever. So that's another way of looking at reactivation. Like we always say, if you never lost a client in your life, how many clients would you have today? You couldn't fit them all in your gym, right? So could you, if you had this thing up and running, proved, tested, you've already had some people through and got results, there you go. You could go back to your email list of your clients and say, dude, we used to work together and I know we couldn't because